Welcome everyone. The following is a short excerpt of one of the lectures from a new course on Martin Heidegger's Being and Time. You'll get to see the inside of the course and also what the rest of the videos will be like, get a bit of a sense for it. I'm presenting you with an excerpt from the introductory lecture on Heidegger's methodology of phenomenology as he lays it out in section 7 of Being and Time. Maybe just very briefly, a note on where I recorded this. I spent the autumn in Bologna to give lectures on transhumanism. And during that time, I recorded most, if not all, of my lectures on this new course. At the end of this video, I will also tell you more on how to enroll and what to expect from the course. So I hope to see you in a couple of weeks when we begin with the live seminars. If you're ready to enroll now or while you're listening, just follow the link down below in the description of this video or up there somewhere also, and I hope to see you in a couple of weeks. Thank you very much.
We're now moving into the high point of the introduction, paragraph or section 7, on the method, which really means path, of phenomenology as Heidegger understands it. He reminds us, following Husserl, that phenomenology means to go zurück zu den Sachen selbst, back to the things themselves, or back to the phenomena themselves, or back to the heart of the matter itself. So, phenomenology wants to bracket, crowd out, reduce, get rid of the illusory problems and all sorts of constructions, constructivisms, and move to the ontological content of phenomena. The way in which Heidegger approaches phenomenology and its method, its path, that's really what methodos means. Hodos means path, is by breaking apart and putting back together the word phenomenology, but not in a historical or historiographical sense. It's sort of etymology and what it used to mean, etc. But no, but going, and this is an example of destruction, of destruction that is creative, that generates something, of going back to the original content of the word, along the language. The language itself, which, as we will learn, will have to be found still for being and time, for investigating Dasein, which a language which we don't yet have. So now we see the first word in 7a, phenomenon, which comes from phainestei, which is the medial form, or in English the middle voice form, but we will say medial because that will be important in a couple of minutes, as you'll see, as you'll hear. Phainestei means to show itself by itself. But the middle voice means actually to show itself in something other, in a medium. Being itself, we could say, is always speaking in the middle voice. To be always speaks in the middle voice, and to the verb to be, Dasein goes as its adverb. So Dasein is when it is with others or with its concerns. It is, in that sense, showing up in something other. Phainestei is related to phos, which means light or brightness. And the phenomenon or phenomenon, hence, is that which is showing itself by itself and in itself. However, that which shows itself can also not show itself as it shows, or even conceal itself in showing up, or show something of which it isn't in itself. So there's no, if you want to have the technical term, there's no phenomenalism in Heidegger. We're not dealing with immediate phenomena as they just so appear. We are just beginning now to access the phenomenon. then, when something appears as something that it isn't, something looks like something, for example. This sort of scheinen in German, seeming or even illusion. By the way, in German, it's phonetically quite close, sein und sein, being and seeming. And it's crucial that Heidegger distinguishes phenomenon from semblance or seeming. So the phenomenon is never something that merely seems to be or is like something other. The phenomenon really is ontological. As we'll see in a few minutes, phenomenology proper is ontology. Heidegger then goes on to distinguish phenomenon and seeming from appearance. For example, he speaks of Krankheitserscheinungen, which would be appearances of sickness, but in English makes a lot more sense when we say the symptoms of sickness. Symptoms can indicate something, indicate formally something, which never shows itself. For example, a disease. A fever as a symptom can point to a certain disease, for example, the flu. Appearance is a not showing itself. However, this not of appearing is not privative, but positive. It brings something to the fore that really has to do with the phenomenon. Appearance is not the same then as semblance, where the not is indeed privative, where the not of, so something seems to be something but is not, that is a privative not. It actually deprives of the being of something that it pretends to be. Heidegger says on page 30 in the German, phenomena are never appearances, yet appearances rely on phenomena. The phenomenon, hence, strictly speaking, is that which shows itself in itself. And only in this case can we speak of appearing of a phenomenon. Heidegger is after the phenomenological concept of phenomenology then in this sense. The phenomenon is only that which shows itself in itself, So we actually have access to the eidos. We see the essence of something, and then, if you'd like to use this language, we see something in itself. Phenomenology is ontology. It's not just the mere appearance of something. And then, when something shows itself in itself, that's when we can say that the phenomenon itself appears. And being in time is the attempt to bring to the fore those various phenomena. So even that which appears and that which is a true phenomenon, and that which can be grasped or is grasped as a true phenomenon, can transform itself and reduce itself to mere semblance. Sein und sein. That which is, and that which is a mere semblance, while being distinct, are never distinct once and for all. A mere act in the sense of play or even, simulating something or even faking something can, to some degree, of course, lead to a distortion of reality, but also if we pretend as an actor or actress on stage, if we pretend to be in love with someone on stage for a certain time, one might fall in love with one's acting partner without wanting to fall in love, obviously. So the mere semblance of love can turn into the being of love, into the true phenomenon of it. And the other way around, of course, also. We can be in love and can lose it. And the relationship can fall into a mere semblance of what it was. Hence we say about others, about friends or so, he's become a mere shadow of himself.
Again, thank you very much for listening and watching this short excerpt. This is, as I mentioned, a lecture from the beginning of the course, And now a bit more details on what to expect if you do enroll. There's 3 different tiers that you can choose from. I will introduce them very briefly. The first tier is the self-study tier. It means you get access to the exclusive video lectures, and it's almost 10 hours, and there will be more. So I'm going to record even more lectures during the course. So it'll be very exhaustive of the book. You get what marketing language calls lifetime access, means you enroll once and you get access to these lectures until, well, who knows, until when? Until the end of time, perhaps. And the second tier is the seminar tier. That means you get access to everything from the first tier, but you also get 10 seminars with me. The seminars, so I lead those seminars, and you'll meet others. We've probably be somewhere around 25, 30, maybe 40 people this time. And you will be able to discuss being in time with others. You'll be able to discuss being in time with me. So you can ask me questions. The seminars officially last about 2 hours, but sometimes we stay for 2.5, 3 hours. Obviously, you don't have to. We'll start meeting on January 22nd, 2023 this time around, and we'll meet for 10 consecutive Sundays. And at the 5th seminar, that's the reading week, after 4 weeks, seminar 5, there's no new reading in the book, but we'll be discussing a film that has Heideggerian themes. More on that for everyone who signs up. If you do sign up for that tier, you also get access to the Halcyon forum, which means you can stay in touch with everybody from the course on the forum there too. And the final tier, the third mode of studying or option of studying, is the dialogue tier, where in addition to the 10 seminars you get 8 hours of one-on-one tutorials with me. I've got a very few, I think 1 or 2 left at the moment. And what this is really for people who either are very serious already in their studies on Heidegger, or have a creative project, or simply want to, read it even more closely, and get the opportunity maybe to discuss this with me, even in a more direct way, and get help, let's say, or support on one of your projects. I mean, not in a direct way, obviously, but in the way in which philosophy can be of help. So I look very much forward to this. This is the first time I teach being in time in this format. I used to teach it at university, and this will also be the only course I'll probably teach myself in 2023, and I don't know when I will be able to teach this course again. So I don't teach every course every year. It might be another 2 years, another 3 years, who knows. So this is the time. If you've been meaning to read Being in Time, then better get to it now. And also, to say the obvious, you'll be reading Being in Time, probably not in German, but as you can hear, I'm German. So you'll be able to learn also from the German text, and I will provide some unique and different translations that you won't find anywhere else, to even make us grasp the text even more and in a completely different way than perhaps you'd find somewhere else. So thank you very much again. The link to enroll is somewhere up here and somewhere down there in the description, and hope to see you all very soon. Thank you.